Hi Libra, here's a general look at your solar chart for May 2013. There's going to be a couple of eclipses this month, a solar eclipse, a big solar eclipse seen only in the southern hemisphere, and that's going to be on May the 10th in Taurus, and will also very strongly affect the other fixed signs, Scorpio, Leo and Aquarius, so including Taurus. And then there's going to be a lunar eclipse on the 25th, which is going to be mostly affecting the mutable signs, which is Gemini, Sagittarius, Pisces and Virgo. The early parts of those signs, in the first half of those signs, but the solar eclipse will be affecting not just the fixed signs but any of the signs. If you have a rising sign or an important point in your natal chart anywhere near the degree of the eclipse, and those degrees are going to be around about 11 to 27 degrees of any sign. But in Taurus it will be particularly affecting from the 1st of May to around about the 18th of May, and then that'll be the 1st of November to the 18th of November, the 1st of February to the 18th, and the 1st of August to the 18th, because that's the other fixed signs. But it can be a little bit either side of those, and then the energy will continue to affect, but it'll kind of peter out as we come away from those particular degrees. Also, just whilst I'm on the subject, that solar eclipse is going to be helpful because it's the energy of change, but it is conjuncting Neptune, and that can mean there's a certain amount of confusion or even delusion, lack of reality around things at the time of the eclipse. So just try to keep grounded at that time there. And then or maybe it's not a lack of reality, maybe it's just a lack of clarity. That can be another way it works. And then on the 27th, which is not very far after the eclipse, Jupiter and Mercury are going to be conjunct, which actually is quite a nice one, and that's going to fall in your area of shared resources with another. So it's actually quite a nice one. It's supportive, it's expansive as well, but just don't set the bar too high. Just don't put the expectations up too high and overinflate, you see, and then that will save you from some sort of disappointment. But if you're reasonable and realistic, that word again, because this whole area here, 25th, 26th, 27th, a little bit of lack of realism maybe, or maybe, you know, certain truths are revealing themselves, but you haven't quite seen them yet, around that time there. So but nothing really bad going on there. Now, until the 21st is a gear shifting phase. You're leaving one stretch of road for the next. You're leaving one set of parameters for the next. You're leaving one standpoint for the next. You're leaving a set of habits for the next. Or it can be working in another way where you're having a massive declutter, you're streamlining, you're going down the dump, whether that's metaphorically or actually, or both in fact. But also another way it is as well is that you are more conscious of the material, financial angle on something, or within a relationship. You're more than a little aware of the emotional side of things in a relationship as well at this time, and you maybe try to keep a lid on feelings, opinions, inner uncertainties, turmoil, because you're feeling more sensitive, and also you're doing a lot of inner pondering and weighing things up. And you could be asking yourself some hard questions. You don't really feel as though things are opening up, you know, into clarity, and there's a lot of wondering going on, and also you're not on your own in a way. You have to meet somebody else's requirements, dance to somebody else's tune, But the sort of solution is to look for a more comfortable way of meeting the commitment or the obligation, or just doing business between you and someone. And definitely don't allow a passing mood to rule your actions, and make you do something that you might regret later. A partnership or another alliance could demand a more sensitive handling from you, but also they are maybe more sensitive or not sensitive, in fact, to your feelings. So you're gauging things, and it's a great time to really trust your instincts, Libra, because this is a great part of your solar chart for your intuition to be working well. So just trust the gut instinct, because at the very worst there won't be a lot else to go on, and at the very best you can there's a sort of a lack of certainty in a way. So at the very best, I should have said, you will have that gut instinct to go on. Right, now until the 16th, discussions and ideas and research tend to be strategic and could reveal things. You could get insights into things, whatever you're delving into, whatever you're trying to get to the bottom line on. Communications with others can become more involved. There again, you've got to be more insensitive, because it's a bit more intense. It's a bit, you're treading a fine line. Maybe you're getting confidential advice. That would be good. Maybe you're giving confidential advice. Maybe just you and someone are kind of keeping, sort of parlaying or whatever it is, but it doesn't go sort of outside of the room. And you could be feeling also at this time, because there's an awful lot going on inside of you, quite passionate about something. But remember what I said, this is a gear shifting phase. So you're going from feelings which are quite inward and introspective and sensing and gauging and weighing, to then a really clearer, straight piece of road where you can see ahead. At the moment it's maybe not so easy, and you're just sort of holding your lantern out before you, and the lantern of your trusting and your hoping, and also further than that, if you can use that wonderful tool, the law of attraction, to create and shape what you want to be. So that's not thinking about it. That's not the way it works, really. It's imagining it, not even imagining it, it's knowing it's there now. So then you can taste it, you can touch it, you can smell it, you can feel it. It's there now, it's yours. So trusting that will really brighten up that lantern, and in fact, once you come through this gear shifting transitional phase, it could be right there, exactly what you were wanting, or in the appropriate way for you anyway. And then from the 16th, your mind may be more focused on travel or another sort of an unfamiliar type environment. Great time to start really getting out of the familiar box, definitely the familiar mental box, and getting into new environments, unfamiliar environments. Already Venus has landed into that area there, and Venus is your ruling planet. So this sort of kind of takes the pressure off, begins to take the pressure off. If there has been pressure, begins to sort of give you an outlet for that inner turbulence, and refreshes your slant on things. And this is about beating the drum, putting the word out into a wider area as well, testing the waters, and you being the guide, the mentor, or in fact you feeling like you were getting, keeping your ears and eyes peeled, and just keeping up to speed with what's new on the block. Maybe having to look at the legal side of things a little bit more than usual at this time, and being more careful about that, and what you're putting out there. And then from the 31st, discussions, correspondence, or ideas may revolve more around career, image, how something's projected, how something's packaged, the master plan, or even smaller goals as well. And vehicles could come into this, transport, communications, equipment as well could come into this. And Mercury is going to be in that area for a long time, it's going to be there until the 9th of August. So these types of things could be in discussion or on your mind, or you're having to do paperwork because of, facilitating something in the career or the general life direction. Now, as I say, until the 10th, Venus could manifest as an influence which might help you out materially in major or minor ways, so that is a thumbs up for that one. But even if not, the negotiations tend to go well. Certain connections are useful or can touch you deeply, and some of you could even be shifting into more commitment there, or in a material sense as well. And feelings will be definitely near the surface, but this period may bring about a shift and a new beginning, a new chapter in a relationship. And then from the 10th, faces and places at a distance may have more appeal, may be more friendly for you, passengers on a journey together, on a journey of life, or literally on a journey, and also a foreign culture, also maybe an advice-giving environment, or you seen as the advisor, the guide, the one who knows, the one who has the expertise, or you finding somebody who has that specialist ability or specialist, you can sort of rubber stamp something for you, or give you that knowledge or whatever it is. And long distance relationships are very well starred here, and you and someone could team up to launch an enterprise. Definitely time to cast your nets wide there from the 10th. Until the 31st, Mars is helping you to change gears, but a lot going on inside of you. You keeping a weather eye on the piggy bank, because you're not in sole control there. There's a joint interest there over monies or property, or interests of some kind, a shared space it can be, and it can be about debts due or owed to you, and contracts, agreements of various kinds, and there might be a bit of a clash of opinions, a clash of values, but you holding your course. If you're trusting that gut and you're feeling that is the right thing, or be ready to throw away the script and write, or throw away tear up an old contract if you can, and write a new one, or an old script and write a new one. But remember, this is a transitional phase, this is a gear change phase, and you should be clearing the decks of all of the dross and all of the clutter and everything which is no longer relevant, maybe it wasn't ever anyway, in whatever area of your life, to allow the new green shoots to come up, because it's from here it's time to move on into new things. And then from the 31st, Mars is in a more outgoing, upbeat area, great for new projects, or a new plan of some kind, grasping things you didn't have a clue about before, learning an awful lot, particularly from the 21st when the Sun moves, and getting definitely, reaching out further, getting out and about more, getting into new areas, new territories, and a good time to launch into things and share your knowledge, put the word out there, beat the drum, and cast your nets wider. So when I give all these examples, they're just suggestions. There might be one or two of those things that might be sort of sort of similar to what's happening for you. Jupiter will be working happily out of its own house for a little while longer. That's from June 2012 till June 2013. Growth coming through travel, foreign communications, wider communications, and academia or education, which is very informal as well. A great vibration for becoming very informed or being the informer, broadcasting onto a bigger stage, getting involved in bigger things like publishing, politics, the law, or communications, media, anything like that. You Librans born between the 9th and 18th of October, or with 16 to 25 degrees rising, going to feel this energy the most this month. Saturn has got another 2 years to run after moving out of your sign into this new area where you've got to meet challenges related to the material, physical, financial side of life, the side of life to do with property, a space, and discipline efforts at times will be needed to manage all of that, to manage the basic stuff, the piggy bank, and resources of various kind. But gradually, as you get things how you want them to be on this side of life, you will begin to feel a lot more comfortable and better. But consistency is the key. And you Librans born between the 28th of September to the 1st of October, or with 5 to 9 degrees rising, could feel this energy the most this month. And the planets Uranus, Neptune, Pluto don't move very much month to month, but if you want to know how they're influencing your sign and which part of this your sign they're influencing the most, then go to my website. You'll find all that there. And if you know your rising sign or your moon sign, then listen to the forecast for those, and it'll add to or subtract from what I said here. And I will see you the next time.